Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sonia. For those of you who are just visiting for the first time, my channel is called Life, Aging, and Peace. Although that is the main topic for this channel, it's not only for older people, it's for younger people too, who probably need some inspiration or some talk to help them with some of their problems or issues. Anyway, I decided to write down my discussion today because I do better when I have a list to read off instead of trying to remember things coming off of the top of my head. Then that's when I usually take longer on the video instead of just reading it from the thing. And also, you'll see me do this a lot because these are my reading glasses. I keep them up there because it's convenient for me to just pull them down. I don't need them all the time to see, just to read. So anyway, today's discussion is about evolving. 10 ways that people can evolve in life. I'm going to get right into it. The first way is, number one, is to embrace lifelong learning. I talk about this all the time, about always learning, always reading, always keeping your mind fresh. If you adapt the notion that you should continue to learn as long as you live, it will keep your mind active and open to new things. As long as we live, as long as we continue to dwell or exist on this earth, you should always be in the process of learning. Learning opens up new doors and new possibilities and new explorations, and it keeps the mind busy and active and just curious. So embrace the thought of lifelong learning. And you can learn a new hobby. It doesn't have to be just books. You can learn a new hobby, and you don't have to, it could be formal education or self education. I don't have anything against formal education because that's fine. Anybody who wants to further themselves to continue on with their learning through school, that is perfect. But for those who did not have a college degree, you can always learn yourself, and don't ever put yourself down because you don't have a degree. You can always engage in self-learning. So I'm not going to keep you a long time like I usually do. Number two is become self-aware. You need to learn about your strengths, your weaknesses, the things that make you you, and to focus on some of the things that you need to work on, some of the things that you can improve upon. But when you become self-aware, it helps with personal growth. This is one of the things that I was talking about when I'm always doing a self-evaluation, of myself, seeing what my shortcomings are, what stuff I need to improve upon, and what it just keeps your mind working on being a better you. So once you become self-aware, you're tuned into how to improve yourself. That was number two, become self-aware. And it's a must for personal growth. Those of you who are interested in personal growth, becoming self-aware is one way to help you improve. Number three, practice gratitude. You hear me talk about this all the time on this channel, and I always say gratitude is the highest form of receivership. Being grateful helps to keep you humble. It makes you become aware of being thankful for the things you have instead of focus on the things that you don't have. Adapting a attitude of gratitude, it helps you to pull things into your life that you would normally not have happen to you, because you become humble, you remain humble, and you're grateful for even the smallest thing that you have. There are some people who didn't even wake up today. There are some people who are homeless, and you have a roof over your head. You might not have the money that you want or the kind of clothes that you want, but whatever you do have, you know, you have to focus on being grateful for even the small things. A lot of people say that Americans are spoiled because we have so much. We have an abundance of things. We take note of the things that we don't have instead of focusing on the things that we do have. People outside of this country have a different reference point, and they see us differently than they see themselves. Especially from people in a third world country, they see us as having an abundance, and we see ourselves sometimes as not having enough. So when you adapt a gratitude attitude, it makes you become more humble and more grateful for the everything that you have. You know. So that was number 3, practicing gratitude. Number 4, practice emotional intelligence. This is a thing I think that young people um, struggle with, in particular when you're in a relationship, when you're young love, and the girl tends to be so emotional and the guy tends to be not focused on emotion. You know, emotional intelligence is having the ability to be empathetic towards someone else and be aware of their feelings and expressions, and being empathetic in a positive way and not using it against somebody. Let me read you what I wrote down. Uh, is how you perceive or express emotions, the ability to recognize and understand and be and use emotions in a positive way. When people take emotions and use it against somebody, you can make an impact on somebody that could be lasting. But having the ability to use emotions in a positive way, you're practicing emotional intelligence. Somebody that takes advantage of somebody that's going through an emotional, stressful time in their life is not showing emotional intelligence. They're being uh, selfish, or being, you know, just taking advantage of somebody when they're at a low point in their life. Okay, number 5, set goals with a purpose. A lot of times we navigate through life without uh, having a goal or plan for what we do with our life. It's like being on a boat out in the ocean without a rudder, just drifting through life. And a lot of us drift through life and don't think about a plan. But a plan with a purpose will give you some insight, and it'll help you navigate through life better than just going through life without a plan. And it sounds corny sometimes when you hear a lot of these motivational speakers telling people to set goals and make plans. It's true. It sounds like a talking point, but it's true. It's a thing. It's a real thing. If you don't set goals or make plans for your life, just like I said, it's like being on the ocean in a boat without a rudder. You'll just be drifting through life. You'll be wasting a lot of years, and then you'll say, oh, I wish I did this. If I had to do all over again when I was younger, I would have done this and I would have done that. It prepares you to deal with life. Step into life the right way. So that was number 5, set goals with a purpose. Number 6, be open to change. I like this one a lot because I love change. The average person doesn't like change because they think change is going to make their life worse. And I always think change is going to make my life better. So change is inevitable, which means it's going to happen whether we like it or not. So you might as well embrace yourself for it, but take the attitude that something good is going to come out of it instead of something bad. Change is going to happen whether we like it or not. So you might as well embrace yourself for the change and welcome the change and be open to change. I always love change because change to me is always going to make my life better than worse. So I'm trying to not rush, but be a little faster so I won't keep you guys a long time. Practice self-care. And to me, that means taking care of your mental, your spiritual, and your physical. You know, some people may be focused on one point of your life, but those three things go together hand in hand. Your mind, your body, and your soul. When you take care of your mind and your body and your spirit, you are practicing self-care. You need yourself to be able to function in this life. You know, to me, meditating to me is taking care of my mental. Because like I said in previous videos, when you are out in that world, navigating in this world, you are exposed to a whole lot of stuff. You know, you're exposed to people with bad attitudes. You're exposed to people in traffic with short tempers. You're exposed to a job that stresses you out. You're exposed to a whole lot of crap going on in that exterior world. But meditation is the practice of your interior world, of bringing you back grounded and centered and giving you peace. I started meditating 2 years ago, and it's the best thing that has happened to me. I talk to God. It's crazy because when I talk to family members about how I meditate and where my mind goes when I meditate, they start looking at me like, I don't know, sound like you kind of crazy then. No, it's your mind. Your mind goes to a higher state of consciousness that most people don't experience in the exterior world. But that meditation will bring you a sense of peace. And what I've experienced with meditation is this extreme feeling of love that I have not been able to explain. It's like you're talking with God. You're not really talking in your meditation. You're just feeling a higher sense of consciousness that that people don't normally talk about. But meditation does that to me. And when I've heard people in the past talk about meditation, I dismissed it like it wasn't anything until I got older and then I got into it and I'm like, oh man, I got to do this every day because this is so good for my mental well-being. So that's the mental, the spiritual, well, mental and spiritual. But also reading can go along with the mental, but the physical is, exercising and eating right. And there are some people who engage in only just the physical aspect or maybe the mental aspect and maybe just the spiritual. But trying to practice all three would be good for practicing self-care. So number 8 is surround yourself with positive people. You know, people that you surround yourself can bring you a whole different type of energy, positive and uplifting and encouraging. And when you hang around people who are just the opposite, who don't even think about their aspirations in life, or who might engage in bad habits like smoking and drinking and partying, and there's nothing wrong with having a good time, but people who do that all the time, it's not good to surround yourself. Surround yourself with people who are uplifting, people who can, support you and inspire you to do the things that you want to do. But you have to surround yourself and people who are going to help uplift you and keep you positive. Okay, so number 9, learn to forgive and let go. Why that is important is because when we hold on to grudges, we don't hurt the person who we're holding a grudge against. We end up hurting ourselves. That person may not even know that you're mad with them or still holding on to something that happened 5 years ago, 10 years ago. You holding a grudge against somebody who's not even there. All you're doing is hurting yourself internally. You the only one still mad. That person that moved on with their life. Forgiveness is for you, not for the other person. Because when you hold in that negative energy in your body, it does things to your body. You have to let go, not only for your mental well-being, but for your physical well-being. When people are angry and holding on to stuff, it can manifest physically, turning into things like an ulcer or even a heart attack or all kind of illnesses. When you hold grudges, that energy will manifest in a negative way. So letting go and forgiving is for you more so than the other person. So you have to learn how to forgive and let go. And number 10, finally, the last one, stay curious and open-minded. I've spoken about this before. You have to be curious about life and open-minded to new things. It keeps you having a childlike spirit. It keeps you open to new things. It don't keep you closed off. Being open to new things and curious about life keeps that adventurous side of you always going. Luckily for me, I've always been a person that had questions. I'm always questioning this and questioning that, and not just accept things that are told to me or said to me. My mind is always curious about something. So I'm going to explore and check things out if I'm curious about it. And I'm always open. You might meet somebody that has a closed mind. If you tell them something, no, I don't want to try that. No, don't bring me no stuff like that. No, I don't believe in that. They're closed off. But when you keep your mind open to new possibilities and the new things that's happening, you don't know what that's going to bring into your life. So always stay curious and open-minded. So I hope that didn't take as long as my video did the day before. Well, not yesterday, but the day before. I took so long till it ended up being 26 minutes, and I didn't know it was going to do that. But I try to rush through these things so people will stay longer and watch the videos and not get bored and then walk off. Anyway, 10 ways that people can evolve in their lives. So I hope it was useful to you guys, and if you found it useful, give me a like. If you're not, then no. But anyway, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. Like I said, give it a like if you like it. Give me a comment. And make sure to share it with somebody who could possibly use it. So until tomorrow on my next video, you guys take care.